Hello, welcome back for one last time. Ikoku Nikki, Journal of Rich, episode 13, finale of this season. And before you maybe skip on to the reaction or whatever, if you're interested in what I'm doing next season, it's nothing. I'm just gonna be doing Chihaflu, finishing season 2. Then in the summer, I'll be doing at least 2 shows. Obviously, one of them will be Bang Dream Imemita, but possibly 1 or 2 more alongside that. So that's the plan for the future if you want to stick around after Ikoku Nikki. And I might also look to read the manga, and maybe talk about that a little, especially compare it to the anime a bit and see what kind of stuff they left out. Bloody hell. Because I'm pretty sure we're getting an anime original ending today. I'm aware they haven't adapted everything. There's some stuff that's been left out, and that it's not obvious from what I've seen so far that it wouldn't be something I would have picked up on if I wasn't aware of it. But being aware of it makes me realise certain things in the show that have been left out. There's certain, but I think the show handles it really well. It doesn't. I'm never like, oh, that's obviously something that's been brushed over or skipped past, or is obviously something that the author did explore, but the anime won't. Stuff like Kasamachi's dad, probably more Makio stuff as well. Maybe Emery, more focus of her and her girlfriend, but it's not stuff that I'm like, oh, there's not enough of that. I feel like they've really done exactly the enough of those sort of side little things going on. Maybe Makio is an exception there. Maybe I would have liked to see more stuff from her, but I don't know what we can get really. She's like, I don't want to say she's done her, like, at the end of the day, this is a coming of age story, and she's an adult. She's come of age. She's accepted everything that she is and has become, and there isn't much we need to do for Makio, if that makes sense, compared to like Asa, Emery, Chi-Chi, those sort of characters. But yeah, this episode we're going to be getting Asa possibly guiding Chi-Chi, being someone her age there for her that she couldn't get now that Asa's been through these hardships and has come to really find herself, come to possibly love herself as well. She'll now be passing on her wisdom that she's learnt from not just Makio but so many different characters across the show that we've come across. Yeah, Asa also, I feel like Asa essentially will be just sort of flexing the fruits of her developments here as she interacts with Chi-Chi and what she's going through. But let's just get straight into it. I really hope we get at least the OP or ED song in some way, whether it's an insert or the actual OP or ED, or maybe Asa singing one of them. I'm not sure, because I think we had Asa enter to sing, and we saw in the rehearsal that one of the guys was singing. Oh, was it the OP or the ED? I can't remember, but they were singing one of them, and so maybe we will get that at some point in the episode. Maybe to sort of cap it off as a nice little roundabout after, especially after we get JJK and Izo playing in the finale. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Final episode of Ikoku Nikki. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hell of a show. Let's just go.
相談してたんだ。理系だからちっち。私医者になるから。
Yeah, reflecting back on
両親とも医者だからさ。
their interaction.
医大で不正入試があったってニュース。ああ、女子だけ入試の点引かれてたやつ。頭にくるよ。
Just sort of recapping all this. It's interesting we're doing this for the finale.
女子っていうだけで不合格にされたんじゃたまんないもん。許せない。絶対に許せない。だからまあそんな感じ。折れたっぽい。それから来てないよ学校。人間ならばそうするのが当然という理由だけでしたが、
Oh, I can't believe we've got to say goodbye to Ushio's OST as well. like cinema already. Like, come on, man.
千代ちゃん、なんか久しぶりだね。
Chio's our actual name.
すげえ休んじゃった。
大丈夫？
大丈夫大丈夫。いや、全然大丈夫ではないんだけどね。いいの。それ何？
Pretty real response that to
お母さんの日記。
see that sort
大
of
丈夫？
relation to someone asking you okay.
なんかウケる。お互い大丈夫大丈夫って。
大丈夫？私たち。その日記ってさ、何が書いてあるの？あ、ごめん、別に。
なんか主に私が大事だみたいな話。私宛てに書いてんだよね。
へえ。
でもちょっと説教されてるみたいな感じがしてきて飽きてきてる。
でもわかるかも。何言われても本当だと思えない的な。
こんなの嘘かもしんない。わかんないじゃん。
私の悩みは匠に比べれば贅沢な話だわ。
See, that's
そ
not.
んなことは
Yeah,
ないと思う。
that's not someone you can
悩みに大小とか。
you can reduce like
視
that.
線はない？本当かな。
Yeah, it's hard to feel that way
明
when.
日さ、私
Mm.
歌うの、コンコースで。
軽音？すごいじゃん。
だから千代ちゃん聞きに来て。
なんで？
なんとなく。
なんとなくか。匠、ひどいこと聞いていい？匠はさ、自分の人生終わったと思った？
思わない。終わってない。生きてるから。
Yeah, that reached her.
千代ちゃん。
先行くね。
なんで？やだー。待って、千代ちゃん。千代ちち。ねえ、聞きに来てね。
ああ、行けたら行くわ。
いや、そこはもっと絶対みたいな感じ出すべきじゃない？はよ
おはよう。遅刻じゃん。
お、
森本さん。おはよ
う。あ、千代。
う。どうも。
どうもじゃねえし。
森本。
LINE ありがとう。
Oh.
これ借りっぱなしで悪い。
あそこできてるのかな。
いや、違くない？
なんか東郷くん涙目じゃん。いい人。
別に東郷氏がいい人でも世の中変わらないし。
Oh, bless him, man. Love that.
ただいま。
おかえり。
新婚？
そう、サインかけって。
へえ、すごい。
物好きがいるのよ。
またそういう。マキオちゃんさ、その本って誰のために書いたの？何その顔。
そういう質問インタビューとかでも聞かれるけど、マジで答えがあると思って聞いてんの？
は？
まったく皆さん夢を見すぎなのではないでしょうか。
何？
他人のためになんか書かないよ。というかみんなそんなに人のために行動してな
You'd
い
be
でしょ。
surprised.
作家だってなんだって。
でも マキオちゃんは私を引き取ったじゃん。それって私のためじゃないの？
She makes a very good point.
それは別にあなたのためではなく
Was it
い
for
や
you then?
結果的にためになればいいとは思うけど、そういう献身的なものではなく、あくまで私が許せないからしたことであって。
I believe
な
that,
んで
yeah.
必死で言い訳して
Yeah,
んの？
but
言うようになったの。
お前。
これは気持ちをくじくために言うんじゃないけど、誰のために何をしたって人の心も行動も決して動かせるものではない。ほとん
interesting.
どの行動は実を結ばない。まして感謝も見返りもない。世界は変わらない。そう思っておくといい。
なんかプロの小説家のくせに
Yeah, that was quite cynical.
悲観的。
だからこそ説得力があるだ
Yeah,
ろ
true.
う。まあでもそう分かっていてなおすることが
It's very human
尊
to do that.
いのだとも思うよ。さあ
There's definitely beauty in that struggle.
また難しいことを。また転職するかもだし。そうそう。あー懐かしい。もう10年も経つのか。
You're living with Makio. Wow, Emery's all.
あ、そういえば
She
朝
was
さ。
great. Huh,
晴れた。
that was a weird.
あーどうしよう
Was
失敗したら。
Like a
ま
flash
た
forward.
言う。自己暗示よ自己暗示。きっとうまくいくって思った方が脳の仕組み的にもいいわけで。まあでもそれがおすすめかっていうとそうとも言えないけど。
どういうこと？
我々みたいな商売にはエゴサする作家としない作家がいますけれども。
マキオちゃんどっち？
秘密。
あ
まあなんつうの、書くことと読んでもらうこととその分嫌われることは全然別々で、本当はただ書いてさえいられたらいいはずなのに欲が出て、その上嫌われたくないなんて、とてもかっこ悪いんだけれど、いちいち傷ついてたら身が持たないから、
Yeah, no matter
自
who
己
you
暗
are.
示というか意識的にドンマして。
ドンマ。
鈍く
Yeah,
麻
I'll
痺す
say
る
you
と書い
become
てドン
numb to
マ
it.。
そうやって麻痺させるうちに
Yeah,
本当に心が鈍くなって、いいことにも悪いことにも
yeah.
心があまり
Being
動
numb
か
to
ない。
it isn't great in the short
嘆か
term,
わしいことに全く悲しくない。
but long term, not so much.
だからあなたにはそうなってほしくないというのは私の幻想の押し付けだね。別に子供だからって無垢でなくてもいい。
日本語で喋る
Yeah,
って。
more thinking for Asa to do.
っていうかマキオちゃん、私に喋る時だって言葉難しくない？お友達と喋るのもっと雑じゃん。
意識してなかったけど、それはあなたに影響を受けてほしくないのかな。
I mean, yeah, it's very
な
Makio
ん
to
て
not
こ
want
とな
to
い二人の時間を私はどれだけ忘れずにいられるだ
influence
ろう。
her in that way too much.
いや、それも押し付けで、見くびってるわけではない。
はあ
Yeah, yeah,
わ
Asa's
かんない
completely lost at
説
this
明
point.
考えといて。
あなた生意気になってきたよね。いいことだと思うけど。
どういうこと？なんてこと思うはずもなく。
考えとく。
お願いします。出されたご飯を食べるように、その時その時をわけもわからず味わっていた。この愛おしさをいつから感じていたのだろう。行ってきまーす。
公演？ライブ？頑張って。
どうしたら緊張しない？
Yeah, not
考
happening.
えない。
あ、前に考えろって言わなかった？
だから考えて考えて最後は考えない。
本 当に参考にならない。行ってきます。
いってらっしゃい。
昨日の配信見た？見た見た。やばいよね。何あれ？ああ、なんか軽音部がストリートライブやるらしいよ。へえ。次の方。やっぱ納得できない。理由教えてよ。そしたら諦められるから。
何それ、言わなきゃダメなの？
Ah, yeah.
エミリー、始まるよ。
Get a hint, man. I know we've seen more, but
私の方が緊張してきたかも。
お母さんかよ。
ちゃんと早弁した？
しました。
緊張してんの？大丈夫、練習したじゃん。フォローするしさ。タクミオーディションの時超かっこよかったし、前に出れるキャラになるんでしょ。他に目標はある？今回の
目標は
誰のために何をしたって人の心も行動も決して動かせるものではない。ほとんどの行動は
she wants to reach Chio, but
私はね、新入部員10人確保。
いいですね。
maybe not even just Chio. I think she'd like to reach anyone.
せよ、たくみ。
朝ちゃん頑張。
頼むよ部長。
おう、任しとけ。
取るよ。
さあ、楽に決めようぜ。
先輩かっけーっす。
考えて考えて考えて
Until you stop.
考えない。
朝なりたいものになりなさ
まあ朝の好きにすればいいんじゃないか。
い。じゃあお母さん決めてあげる。
良識の範囲内で。
何でも自分で決められるようにならないと。
お母さんに叱られないようにね。
頑張ることに意味があるんだか
ああ、なんだか目立ってたね。
ら。残念だったわね、負けちゃって。
Wow.
タクミはさ、自分の人生終わったと思った？
おばさんが小説家で親が死んで超辛くて、
でもどうせなら苦しんで
音楽的に深みが出てもいいはずなのに、私は
そう分かっていてなおすることが。
なんで全然パッとしないの？
だからあなたにはそうなってほしくない。
Really interesting to go back to those lines.
なりたい自分になりたいの。
She's thought. She's
奥
thought.
先輩、
She's been thinking now it's all.
私の目標は
Yeah.
落ち込んでる友達に聞いてもらって元気を出してほし
It's as simple as that.
いです。
いいね。
Hmm.
オッケー。じゃあ行きますか。
Oh, it is.
眠りから目覚めたら開かれたページの上に一人見回せど見えないあれも出口も。あの頃私にはまだ絶対に許せないものも絶望の色や形もちっともわからず、 しかしそれでも私は愚かにも自分の小さな行動がきっと世界を変えうると信じていた。そう、例えば10年後、きっとそれだけでも私は聞いて世界がほどける音がかけてくるかけてくる朝が来る未来で振り向くあなたに手を振って漕いでゆく漕いでゆくどこへ行こうどこへでも世界を変えたのだ。
Ah, wow.
いいじゃん。マキオさんに送ろう。
Yeah.
おばさん。そうそう。
世界中で自分に関係ないことなんてない。
って
あと5曲やります。
つまりこういうこと。
よかったら聞いてってください。
I love just the little bits we're getting of these
行くよ。
these they're not even side characters, they're like background characters.
でも10年後でいい。誰かこの中の一人でも一瞬でも。
世界を変えたい。
届け届け届け届け。
Oh my god, the
放
show.
課後と明日もやります。部活見学もお気軽に。
たくみ、こっち。
あ、千代ちゃん。
お疲れ。I witness you。
それかっこいい。
スルスルと大人になっていく。こんなに毎日大変なのに瞬く間だ。これを15年壊れ物のような時期からやったなんて。姉さんは立派だ。
Wow.
実を言うと
I wasn't
1年
expecting
前
that.
から訳あって犬のようなものと同居することになった。長年飼うか迷っていた
We
が
got both.
幸か不幸かある日突然舞い込んできた。私も犬も初めてのことばかりで戸惑っている。犬は時々仲間の犬を連れてくる。群れを作らずに暮らしてきた私はたじろぐばかりだ。意志と知性を持つ発展途上の生き物が私の縄張りにいる。不思議な感じだ。
Hey.
群れは危険と安全を同時にはらむ。私同様、あなたも群れに向かないかもしれない。あるいは適した群れを探すことが人生だという人もいるだろう。
Oh.
あなたは
It
どんな群れ
reached.
にい
It
ても
reached.
寂しいかもしれない。誰ともいない方が心地よいかもしれない。
It doesn't really matter.
犬はまだ幼いが
Yeah.
どうだろう。犬はまだ犬でいうところの2歳か3歳で、若い犬に影響を与えてしまうことが私は怖い。しかし犬というのもなんだか悪い。犬の名を仮に明日としよう。最後に春の明日という美しい詩を紹介して今回は終わる。なお明日は 私が産んだわけではない。
Ah,
Happy
amazing.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Ah, yeah,
you.
their birthdays close together.
Happy birthday, dear お父さんお母さん。Happy birthday to you.
Did you take a
何
photo
撮ってんだよ。
at the beginning? I feel like I remember she did that at the beginning.
バカ。おやすみ。
I love just depicting this like
また明日。
this normalcy.
あ、そういえば朝さ、コンコースのとこで歌ったよ
Yeah,
ね。
it is in the
あれも10年前
future.
だっけ
Oh, look at
やだ、恥
Emery.
ずかしい。よく覚えてんね。めっちゃ良かったじゃん。彩香たちも感動したって。あ、まだ動画残ってるよ。これで部員増えたんでしょ。マキオちゃんも褒めてくれたな。あ、マキオさん元気？多分。あー、なんか会いたくなっちゃった。ね、会いに行かない？会いに行こう。マジで？いきなり行くの？だって会いたいんだもん。電話して。出るかな？締め切りで死んでるかも。変わんないね。あ、お土産にビール買ってこ。うん。あ、マキオちゃん？あのさ、今から。いや、何も言ってないじゃん。言ってないじゃん。マキオさん、今から行きまーす。おーい。じゃあ、後でね。
Oh, and we're done. Ikoku Nikki, done. Really, really beautiful, poignant ending. I think one of the best episodes of the series as well. I'll discuss a bit about the episode first and then talk about the series as a whole. I appreciate just us kind of reflecting on everything that's been going on with Chio and just getting all that again. It was cool because it wasn't like we didn't have this like big revelation with her or she was a really like big focus for the episode. It was just kind of what I was expecting, is just Asa guiding her or reaching her in more ways than one. We had the scene at the train station, and then obviously we had the singing. And funny enough, it was her scene at the train station more that sort of reached her, and then the singing. I think the scene at the train station, I felt like that was more directed. That was a scene just for those two, whether the singing was sort of encapsulating Asa's growth as a whole over the season, and Asa looking just to like let it all out. I like this interaction because these two, they're friendly, they're not like that close though, so it felt very real to be like, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, not really, but I'm fine. Like, it's such a real sort of response to when you're not doing okay, but you don't want to burden the other person who you're not that familiar with it. I really loved Chio in this moment and in this whole like section being very much like an Asa of the past that we've seen. Someone who feels stuck. But similarly, it's interesting though, is someone, she doesn't feel like her concerns and her issues are that big compared to someone like Asa. In contrast to Asa, who felt like, I mean, previously those concerns to us, those issues that she was going through, that felt like everything to her. So much so that she just completely pushed it aside for most of the show. Didn't even think about it. Whereas Chio's, it seems it's been very prominent in her mind, but she sort of came to the conclusion here, or not even came to the conclusion, or just in general, she's just like, there's like much bigger things, much bigger issues, but people dealing with much harder things than I am. I should just shrug it off, not think about it anymore. Might be why she sort of came back to school. She might have sort of reached that conclusion, like, it's not even that big a deal. I can just try and be something else. I can just do something else instead. I can just forget about it. Like, in her head, it's like, I can just do that compared to Asa, who's literally lost both her parents. That's not something to forget about. That's not something you can move on from. There's a very much a literal physical loss in the real world there. But for Chio, it's just like, whatever, I can move on. Which she obviously can't. And she's downplaying and being reductive about her issues, which is something I personally really dislike. But I absolutely get it, because I've certainly been in similar situations where I'm like, man, like, I feel like fucking shit today. This and that, and then I'm like, oh, there's people that got it much harder than me. I walk home and there's a guy that, like a homeless guy, he doesn't have a home. As I'm walking to my home, and I'm like, there's clearly much people going through much harder things than I am. Why am I getting so upset over it? But you have every right to be upset over your problems, no matter how big or small they are. And being reductive about them is one of the most dangerous things you can do. It's kind of how what we had Makio explaining is how you can just end up trying to numb yourself completely and completely blank it out, along with like everything else. That numbness then leads to your heart becoming numb and it not being moved by anything, both positively and negatively. You just exist as a husk of a person. But her thought process is completely valid. Asa kind of counteracts that. No, I think your issues are important too. And then she's like, I wonder. It was the line, there isn't a hierarchy for concerns or problems, whatever it was. And she's like, I wonder, because there is literally a hierarchy in place for her problems that are making her problems. Like, it's hard for her to believe that. It's hard for her when it is that hierarchy that is creating those problems for her. It is not something that she can... It's something that she can... that she almost accepted she was powerless in. It was something she almost accepted that was like, I guess I'll just move on. And I'm sure that is something that happens to a lot of people who feel this way about certain societal issues. They just feel powerless and hopeless, as which isn't surprising at all, given the sort of stuff you're up against with these issues. But I really like this scene that follows. Did you feel like your life was over or your life had ended? And she was like, and she was frustrated at that. She like, you could tell that she saw her old self there, like And she also just didn't want Chio to feel that way, but you could tell she saw her old self who felt this way about things, and definitely not how easy it was to get over it, but how fast things had changed. And just the fact, as she said, that she's alive, that she's standing here right now, is proof enough that it wasn't over. And no matter what Chio's going through, it's not over for her either. It's just whether she sort of goes the numb direction or the confronting direction of these problems, or something in the middle that most people end up doing instead. This is very sweet. Like, I don't even know if we got this guy's name, but I wouldn't remember. I haven't remembered it, but I really appreciate just them tapping into these, like I said, basically background characters. This guy, the baseball guy, even the guy that confessed to Emery. They must have like 10 lines between them, and it's just small little examples of characters in this world that feel so real and feel like they have their own stories that we could be following as well. And I do wonder if we do expand more on that in the manga, maybe, if that is something that we get more focus on. And if it is, I'm really impressed with how the anime handles it, and how with so little it feels like they're saying so much with these characters, and I don't feel like, oh, I wish I knew more, or I wish we got more, or this felt underbaked, or anything like that. That's not how I feel about these background characters at all. It just feels like a very natural progression and course of the story to be, when we end up sort of just checking on them every now and then, and the developments and the directions they go, it's just really pleasant. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it before with how it's handled. It's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting stuff, how they've handled those sort of characters there. I do like Asa being a little bit more, I guess not cheeky, but she's able to like clap back at Makio on certain things, and yeah, this whole thing. But I do think it definitely felt like Makio was making excuses there, and I absolutely do think Makio was being selfless when she obviously took Asa in, and that was a selfless act, and I don't think at the time that was how she viewed it. I think she felt like she had an obligation here to take Asa in, seeing what was going on. Makio's heart couldn't just watch that happen. That's just who she is. As cold as she might seem, I think that's just something that it's just how she is. And sometimes these little things can end up contradicting your like philosophy or outlook or perspective on life. These small things that are so fundamentally you can end up sort of contradicting these thoughts and feelings you have on stuff that feel very you've thought about and have formed and you've expressed, but then there'll just be things that you just do because you're like, yeah, that just feels natural. That's what I do. I don't know if that makes any sense, because I feel like I've explained that really poorly. But hopefully you get what I'm saying, is that Makio for sure is someone who would lives for herself, but it's not a concrete sort of rule, if that makes sense. It's something that is flexible in that way. And just because she does do stuff like taking Asa in, it doesn't mean that she is majority not selfish, but a person that lives for herself. I also like the idea how Makio's like talking about how actions and words aren't able to change the world, and the beauties in the struggle there. And Asa comes to her own conclusion that she thinks she can. And I like that contrast, and I like how it's not a thing of like oh, Makio's wrong, or look, Makio, I can do it. That's just what Makio thinks, and that's fine. She does what she does as an author, and I'm sure her words and stories and actions have changed the world, have changed people's hearts. But that's just sort of her perspective on things. And As is determined to sort of be like, that's not how I feel. I feel like a lot of this story has definitely been Asa not parroting Makio, but picking up on stuff that Makio has been putting down and learning from Makio and really being influenced by her in certain ways. But there's also times where Asa absolutely can just be her own person and just take detours and be like, Makio thinks this, I don't agree. Because there is a sort of feeling at the start of when you see Makio, you're like, wow, this person's so like, she's really got herself together. Very what's the word when you're like strong and in your beliefs? Like you stand by your beliefs, you stand by your thoughts, and I'll say steadfast, but I don't think that is it. I don't know, but that kind of feeling like, wow, she's so like confident in herself, and she trusts in herself and the way she thinks and the way she feels and the way she expresses herself and what she does. It all feels very thought out and calculated, and I think confident is the right word here. Like she has an air to her, and it's very easy as the audience and as Asa to sort of just look at that and be like, wow, she's right, everything she does is right, everything she does is perfect. But you learn that just because she's framed in this way doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. And she's a human being. You learn she's a human being after all, and she has her flaws. She has perspectives that differ from other people. She absolutely has her quirks and unique traits that set herself apart. Yeah, this part I was like, can't believe it's been 10 years, and I was like, I didn't quite clock that. I was like, what? I was like, oh, it's like a little flash forward we got. I feel like there's definitely Makio stuff that the anime probably left out. I don't know whether it would be realizations or other things, but that's the impression I get. That's probably the biggest section of the story, or the focus of the story, that I'm like, I can feel that there's something more here that they did in the source material, and it is with Makio. Because I got the impression that the manga, or this show as well, would be sort of told in quite an equally split perspective, that both Makio and Asa would be as much a protagonist as each other. In the end, it more feels like the anime. At the very least, it's Asa's show. She's the protagonist. She's the one that we've been following. She's the one that we had this big sort of development and revelations and stuff for. It's not Makio, but I get the impression that the manga might do that and have Makio stuff alongside it and have the room to do both. I really like that advice from Makio, which is just think and think until you stop, because that's very real. I feel like you can really just overthink and think about things and really toss them around in your head, and all of a sudden you just kind of reach a conclusion. You're just there if you think about something for long enough. And while that can be done on a very small scale, it can also be done on a larger scale. I mean, this was about like as a confession, not a confession, as like a coming out as it gets without being explicit about it. I did like that part there, and then we did kind of follow him on a bit from that as well, which is interesting. you saw Asa sing and realised people can be gay or something. Obviously not, but it was funny. It was the sort of to follow on from him after that. I like this drawing. She looks very mature here. I thought that as well when we got. Oh my god, this sequence. Oh my god. I thought we were just going to do like a classic cut. She's grown up. Like when we saw the this one, I was like, cut. She's grown up. I'm going to cut. She's grown up again, and then cut, and they're gone. But no, we got all these different drawings and outfits and places. It's crazy because this scene felt really long when I was watching it, but it was about like 30 seconds or so, but it felt really long. It had the impression of a lifetime for Asa with these people, and now without them, and now in the desert. Yeah, I loved going back to these lines because it's like, oh, I don't know how to explain it, but it's interesting to go back to these lines in particular because that's what the show really boils down to. It's about Asa coming of age, duh, but Asa finding herself and becoming the person she wants to be, and the whole grief and all that is just a part of that. Like, what I originally thought was a show about Asa, what was going to be a show about Asa just overcoming her grief and accepting her parents' death, it was much more than that, and that was just an aspect of what the show actually was Asa becoming her own person and overcoming all these struggles. I really just love that, her just being like think and then stop, and then we get the whole we get that lifetime of memories, and then it all culminates to Chio, and she's like, oh, my goal is to sing to my friend who's feeling down, and hopefully she feels better. It's like, that's such a simple conclusion to come to. I like how the whole show was like almost built up for that, but that's just a simple and neat and tidy conclusion for Asa and her development and where she wants to be and what she wants to do. It's not some like grandiose shonen main character goal. It's just I want, right, like, it's just right now at the moment in time, I just want my friend to feel better. I want my friend to feel like there's people alongside her and people supporting her and that there's more that she can do. And then of course we get the OP. We have our entire cast watching on. And also props to the VA. I know I said this, like, I think it was maybe 2 episodes ago when we had the singing, Asa singing at the end. Her voice is amazing, and it's amazing in a way that isn't like perfect. Like, there's still flaws in her voice as a, how old is she here? 15, 16? As a 16-year-old teenage girl's voice would be. It's not perfect and completely free of any flaws or like stuff like that. It has that realism to it while just sounding great as well. Also, just like great drawings. Like, there's just, this scene feels very like, I know I've said this so many times about this show, but it feels very real with how much detail and drawings and expressions there are for everyone and everything like that. Yeah, and we get this line that it reached Chio, and it feels like she's going to pursue that battle, that uphill battle of changing the way society thinks about the issues she was having, and she is going to confront them head on. And having doing this scene of her watering the plants while everyone's in the desert, everyone's watching on. Like, Asa is just a microcosm of all these characters and this environment and these people that of this age that are going through all these issues. Everyone's here. Like, it's such a cool way to visualize how everyone is going through things. Like, it's a very simple thing to say, but I like how it's not a sort of explicit, like, oh, everyone has problems or everyone's going through something. Like, it's told in this way, that in this visual that we've seen so often throughout the series, that has been such a strong visual. Like, they've repeatedly gone back to that, especially early on. That was a really part that was obviously accentuated strongly, was this desert, and now everyone's here with her. She's kind of had the realization that, yeah, everyone's also going through struggles. I'm still going through struggles, but that's fine. That's just life. And I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best, not just for myself, but for everyone else. And maybe for Makio, who will try her best for herself, I'm going to try my best for everyone else. That's just her conclusion that she's reached here. And maybe that will change in the future. Who cares? As long as she's true to herself, and I like to think that Asa's self, who she is a good person, then it's not a problem. I witness you. That's gonna be the title for the day's app for sure. I love that line. Is it the first time in the series that she's sort of praised her sister or spoken positively about her? Maybe. I think it is, but that hit me. That did hit me. Comparing her to a dog is really funny, because she absolutely does have dog qualities. Was she compared to that early on? I think she might have been. But I absolutely feel it, Makio. This whole excerpt at the end we had from Makio is really nice, because we needed something from her, I feel as well, in this finale. Yeah, I love this as well. What a feeling. Ashita, is that tomorrow? I know that word. I should know that word. Yeah, because Ashita no Joe is, yeah, tomorrow. Very fitting, Asa morning, tomorrow. And that was just Asa reading that as well. very like obviously about Asa as well, and she's just reading it. So there's a really, really funny exchange to end it off for a show that's just been so like heavy and a lot to sort of handle emotionally every week. A really, really funny exchange here. Just sort of like hammering down as well how far they've come and how these two are just, this is just normal for them to be together like this now and interact in this way. Very nice little way to finish it off back here, and I'm pretty sure I recognised this scene. Like I feel like we did this early on. I can't remember unfortunately, but I'm almost certain we had this early on, maybe episode 2 or 1 when she first moved in. And just this like, this is like, take a screenshot of that because this is like Ikoku Nikki to me. This, I don't know what it is about this shot, but it just says a lot and speaks to me. And this is the what, I don't know what it is. Just these two being together, like haphazardly as well. The mess, the futon on the floor by where she's working. It's like, it's not typical. Yeah, we do get, it was 10 years reach. Emery's looking amazing. Of course she is. And it's just more like of the normalcy that has sort of come about with Makio and Asa. I think she's doing fine. I'll give her a call, and then he gives her a call. And he's like no, or like instantly he's like no, she's not coming over. And then he's like, hey, we're coming over now. Like it's such a friendly and nice way to finish it. Ah, what a show! What a show! Really glad that I picked this one up to react to, especially. The manga's been on my plan to read list for years now, like probably 5 years at least now. But the anime was super impressive. The visuals, so many strong drawings, like what's on the screen now. And like I've sort of mentioned before, it's not very in your face about its production values, and doesn't have lots of sakuga or super crazy sequences. It's just the shot by shot drawings, and every cut just feels normal and natural and detailed, and it's full of expression, and the colours, the art direction so good as well, accompanied by Ushio's soundtrack. It's just a joy to watch. Like it's really that premium stuff that only comes around maybe like once or twice a year. I think we're lucky in this season of anime that we have this and Jujutsu Kaisen airing at the same time in terms of quality production, production values, the uniqueness, the way it's sort of incomparable to anything I've ever seen. This show and Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 are both so impressive in that regard. Man, yeah. Like, I was thinking about this as well before I started, but what I also just really like about the show is how there's not many standout episodes in terms of like, wow, this episode is particularly better than the rest. For me, is this episode 1, and my absolute favourite episode is episode 7, the one I watched before I went on holiday, the one where we got Asa's mum's little backstory part. That episode for me is like perfect, absolutely perfect. The way it's structured, the way the storytelling, it's all just so neat and confident. Confidence is a really good way to describe the show in general. It has a really like quiet confidence to it in terms of its storytelling and its visuals. yeah, I don't have a single like negative thing to say about this show. I really don't. And Asa, Makio, they're both characters who will certainly stick with me. Side characters like Emily as well, who I really loved. Absolutely will be checking out the manga at some point because, like I said, I'm aware this is a sort of anime original ending, and there's lots of stuff that's been not shown in the adaptation, but for what this is on its own, beyond just being an adaptation, it's really, really impressive. I don't know if anyone like cares about scores or anything like that, but for me, this is like a 9.5 out of 10, like a strong 9. It's up there with the very best for sure. And yeah, I don't think I have much more to say really. We've spoken so much about this show a lot, over the 13 weeks or so now. It's gonna be really sad to see this go because like, my Sundays and or my Mondays as well have become just very attuned to finishing work or maybe having the day off and then recording at Ikoku Nikki on a Sunday. Like it's just been really pleasant, and I really appreciate everyone that's come along and watched these videos. I know I yap a lot, and I know not everyone stays for the yapping, and I perfectly understand that. I know people just want to stay for the reaction. That's perfectly normal, but I appreciate the people a lot who are like still here now and listening to me as I ramble on and aren't really saying anything of substance anymore and just trying to remember if there's anything else I need to speak about, but I don't think there is. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Ikoku Nikki with me. Hopefully I will be reading the manga soon. I can't make promises how soon that'll be because I'm terrible at reading manga, but I understand Ikoku Nikki is not too long, so I will be reading that. Whether I do a video on it or not, I'm not too sure. Depends like how strongly I feel about it. But I mean, if it's anything like the anime, I'll be feeling pretty positively about it. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in wherever you see me next. Bye.